And if you're making 50,000, the kind of woman that you want or the kind of woman that you'll get may most likely not be in alignment with the woman that you want.
Ooh.
What?
And I make 50K in less than a month. Yeah. So it's tough for me. And I'm a high school dropout, no education, no degree, 2 kids from 2 different men, never married in my life.
Pause.
I'm a world-renowned dating coach.
Okay, whoa, rewind.
2 kids from 2 different men. And this woman this woman lucked up.
Look, we need people to drive school buses, wipe work in the nursing and health field. We need those people, but it won't be me. And it won't be you.
I know.
How am I going to be a crossing guard? How am I going to be a coach and a crossing guard? It ain't happening. And you choose to lead with your coins because your character is lacking. Milk it, girl. Milk it like it's the last farm in Atlanta or wherever you're from, baby. Milk that thing. If he was confident and comfortable enough to go fill out an application for a job that makes $12 an hour, let him have a $12 an hour woman. Is that you? Or are you Chick-fil-A? Too soon? Should we shut it off? Is it too soon?
She disrespectful.
Is it too soon?
First of all, I just want to give this woman some advice. I have sinus issues. Ma'am, just go blow your nose. Just being honest.
This ties back to the question you asked me earlier of what's the dollar amount of money, right? Notice as you make more money, your position changes of how you handle things, right? Like you've got more to lose. And so you do a risk assessment for everything.
Yep.
And when you're only making $40,000, no shade. When you're only making $40,000 and you decide to date a woman, number one, the pressure is mounted immediately from the door. Now, when the fire is on, you can't afford to put it out. And you are now at a place where you're like making irrational, emotional decisions.
That's
right? And you're like, well, instead of paying the electric bill, I'm going to go get those new Jordans.
Which is really feminine.
Or I'm going to get her that thing that she's been desiring because her anniversary is coming up.
Yeah.
But my rent is due. I'll just pay it late.
Yeah.
That's not true. First of all, I just want to give this woman some advice. I have sinus issues. Ma'am, just go blow your nose. Just being honest. Back to the point that I was trying to break down. Most people don't do that. If the rent's due, I'm not going to buy you a gift. And you know what's going to happen? You're probably going to get mad. You're probably going to get upset. You would like for me to buy that gift and try and figure out a way to still pay the rent. But guess what? Most guys, we think logically. So we're not going to appease and buy y'all stuff. We don't want to buy the stuff. Y'all want us to.
A person that's making 50K is going to rationalize that decision very differently than someone who's making 150K.
Yeah.
The thought process that goes behind it, the diligence in determining the risk assessment is vital for someone who's making a large amount of money or what they would consider a large amount of money.
Yes.
Those qualities are missing in people that don't make a lot of money.
I agree.
Because we operate in scarcity. We operate in survival mode. And we will press that red button even when it says not to. We're like,
yep. That's so true.
Blow your nose.
So that's why I say if you're not making enough money to actually court a woman, I'm not telling you to court her and pay her bills from the first day. I'm not telling you to court her and, trick off and just buy her a bunch of stuff and love bomb her. What I'm saying is if you meet someone and you say, damn, this woman's got potential, you've got to think immediately, how do I need to be able to support this woman outside of emotional and mental, financially support this woman in the decisions that she makes. Because one day those decisions will directly affect me.
Yeah.
That sound like a trick kind of low key.
Also, I feel like if a woman from the jump will let you pay all of her bills, she doesn't like you.
She definitely doesn't like
She doesn't like. She's just sticking around to see what she could get.
She is here for
a good time.
For a good time.
Not a long time. She will maximize every option to the most.
And as she should, because if you're one of those, you should milk it, girl. Milk it like it's the last farm in Atlanta or wherever you're from, baby. Milk that thing. Because if you are a man that feels like you have to show up in that way because your character is lacking, and you choose to lead with your coins because your character is lacking, then don't get upset when they treat you like an ATM and assassinate your account.
Ma'am, you just said that he needs to be figuring out a way to support her financially, but now you're saying you need to be finesse for supporting her financially. That makes no sense at all. First of all, regardless whether a man has personality or not, usually most of us we wanna support a woman. It just is what it is. It's just our natural nature to want to do that. So you telling me the guys most guys who have that innate ability to say, man, you know what, I want to take some pressure off of you, lady, because I really appreciate you, I like you. That dude should get finesse. That's what you're saying. That's dangerous rhetoric, man. That is problematic. This dating coach, this woman is just a user. She's a finesser. She got a rich dude, and then now she can kind of sit high up on the horse, and she feel like she know how to get every rich guy. No, you knew how to get your rich guy, and you got a sucker. Just being honest.
That was it right there.
When you lead with money, honey, that's you know,
Ooh, that was the one.
Men hate this conversation, and it's usually the men that aren't making money.
Yeah,
that really hate it.
I always say the modern woman.
But if they understood, like, okay, if you want, who was it that was just the Sherry Shepherd show? So when I did a podcast, it went crazy viral. It ended up on Sherry Shepherd show. And Sherry was talking about the perspective of if you make less than 50K. And she's like, you know, you can date and you can find love, but not with me.
Okay.
And shout out to Sherry for having me on the show. But I felt like that was very diluted. And it was safe, right? Like she played it safe.
Yeah.
And smart, because you're on daytime television.
Right.
But over here in internet world, we say what we want. And the truth is, Sherry, that man cannot court you making 50K.
No.
He can't, because your courtside seats are
50K.
What? Like, you can't, and she knows it.
Yes.
And they all know it.
Yes.
But it's like you have to date within your bracket of your bank account. And
Yes.
that means now that you are working, dealing, loving on a woman that doesn't have that same level of ambition as a Sarah.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the same dreams, goals, and desires as a Coach Lee.
Yeah.
Oh my
Doesn't
God.
have the same level of
Oh my.
expectation out of life as the Sherrys.
Yeah.
And so you may get someone, look, we need people to drive school buses, wipe work in the nursing and health field. We need those people, but it won't be me. And it won't be you.
I know.
How am I going to be a crossing guard? How am I going to be a coach and a crossing guard? It ain't happening. So it's
This woman is very disrespectful to the rest of America. If this woman had no money, who are you? Who are you? If you strip all the dollars that you have, who are you? Most women don't even make over 40. The average woman don't make over 40K in the United States. So to sit here and say that the guy has to be making exceptional amounts of money, that is asinine comments. And then to say that you're not going to get this type of, what is he getting? Ma'am, I just saw, like, my daughter just graduated today. I just saw like 30 teachers that look just like you. I saw 100 adults that look just like her. What do you really get? It's the same thing. I'm getting the same box. I'm getting the same breasts. What am I getting different?
it's like you have to accept that you're dating the crossing guard girl.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting. The crossing guard girl who just is on time for work. She makes sure she's out there. She keeps the kids safe. We need her. Shout out to the crossing guard girl. But that's why I work with boss babes. That's why I work with women that aspire to be business owners or scale their business.
Yeah.
Because number one, man will invest far more into you when you are the investment.
Say that.
Stop being the bill. Become the investment. Okay, that's number one. Number
I'm not
two,
mad at that.
just drop. Number two is if you are en route to becoming the investment and you want a businessman, you got to have a business, man. You can't think that you're going to have the aligned conversation or aligned goals or like you have to ensure that the person you are dating is going to elevate you and you're going to walk away better than when you walked in. And
Ma'am, go blow your damn nose. Blow your nose. I got some tissue right here. Go blow your nose.
I'm sorry, but dating the crossing guard guy is not going to get you there. Unless that man has seed sown in other areas of his life where, you know, shout out to the crossing guard guy who's like, hey, I cross kids because I ain't got nothing else to do because I did my money right. Okay? Like I have investments, I have mutual funds, I have stocks, I have bonds. Cool.
This is my retirement
I got a
fund.
business. Yeah, I just do this for fun.
Yeah.
I do this because I'm bored. I do this because,
Why
I
not?
enjoy the kids.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids. We love the kids.
Yes.
These
But the
demons.
problem is
Woman
when
a
it's
demon.
that guy who took that job because that's the only job he could get,
Yeah.
or it's the only application he felt comfortable filling out or
Yeah.
understood to fill out. If he was confident and comfortable enough to go fill out an application for a job that makes $12 an hour, let him have a $12 an hour woman. Is that you? Are you that chick, or you chickies and Pete's?
You know what the sad part is that, don't get me wrong, I feel like guys should elevate. I feel like women should also date according to a guy that can possibly take care of a family. But at the same time, to say that most of these women should just go and get with above and beyond guys when they aren't. Most people are average. So average is going to be average. This woman is still average. She might have a mindset to where she probably can flip a coin, but at the same time, when it comes to dating or whatnot, she's still going to be laid out just like everybody else. And she's going to have her troubles just like everybody else. But to sit here and say that everybody should be chasing something that's so rare, not good advice.
Or you Chick-fil-A? Too soon? Should we shut it off? Is it too soon?
She disrespectful.
Is it too soon? It's the truth. And men don't want to look at it that
No,
way.
they don't.
They only look at it as like, I'm victimized because I only make $50K. You're telling me I can't have the kind of women I want. No,
Yes.
you can't. Not only can you not have the women you want, but you're also, the woman that you get is going to ruin and destroy the little bit that you do have, because she has no goals, no dreams, no desires, no. She's just here for the moment.
What about you?
She's just enjoying the day.
Assassinating the bank account.
Assassinate the account. She's an account assassin.
What about her?
By accident. Because you're going to court her. You're going to take her out to eat. You're going to buy things.
And she
You're
has high
gonna-
expectations on what she gets. Those be someone told me the other day, a regular girl, normal girl, she got asked on a coffee date. She said, I don't go for coffee.
Let me just say
that's
this.
y'all
I have
too.
students right now that are married to millionaires because of a coffee date. So stop playing yourself.
Stop playing.
But secondly, we also have to remember that the man that allows it to be okay for him to be at a not great point in his life, to accept a woman who's in a not great point in her life, y'all go get him. Have each other, eat them all up, soak them all up, leave no crumbs for any of us because we don't want them.
Yeah.
Like, go get the low vibrational chick.
Yeah.
Go get the broke boy.
Yeah.
And go live happily ever after in your studio apartment with your air mattress. And I mean, I'm just saying.
You're telling the truth. And
It's the
I
truth.
call those the modern day woman and the
Yeah.
disgruntled broke
Because
men.
if you're broke, you have a bed and a bag. Your bed folds up into a bag.
Oh, she a comedian now.
I'm sorry.
She
It might be too
disrespectful.
soon. I thought maybe we were here for a little bit. I thought it was okay.
No, it's
So
okay. I'm
dropping
like,
them out. Drop it out. Because look, women need a reality check and so do men.
yes.
Men think that I'm the victim because I'm only making 50K. No, you are the culprit for making 50. You chose to allow that to be okay. I'm not talking about a man that
crazy.
just came out of prison and can't find a job. I'm not talking about a man who can't read, write, or spell. I'm not saying you are the problem. Because you're allowing yourself to be available to women
Yeah.
and making yourself seem like you're valuable and worth it to these women who don't know any better, because they're not.
They don't know no
They
better.
don't know no better. They're not making money. They're not in a corporate world. They're not around people who have
Wow.
money. Their girlfriends don't have husbands. Their homegirls don't even have relationships. They're around a bunch of single women all the time.
Yeah, and they're mostly jaded.
They're mostly jaded and they're mostly in the hookah lounge, and they're chilling there every weekend
Coach Lee.
looking for
Damn.
looking for something that doesn't exist, because
Yeah.
the only thing that you're going to find in there that is looking for someone else is someone who can only afford the hookah hose.
I'm gonna be honest, man. What she said is very, very damaging. Just because, like I said, I want to level up. I feel like other men should level up, but she shamed everyone that's blue collar. She shamed the water treatment facility. She shamed the police officers. She shamed the firefighters. She shamed anyone that keeps this economy in this world running, who makes under six figures. She shamed everybody, And for her to say that and act like the life she's living isn't because of other men is just very rude and disrespectful.
Said hookah hose, not whatever. Take it how you want. Take it how you want.
This was so good. You dropped so many bars. Like whole episode, you just dropped so many bars. Like we got to do a part 2 at this point.
I'm down.
There's
Let me know.
so much more still to talk about. Like
so much more.
Because the truth is, and I talk a lot about being a high value feminine woman, because it's a high value feminine woman that attracts the high value, high earning masculine man, the man we all think we want.
Absolutely.
However, most women think they want a high value, high earning masculine man till they get one. And then it's like, actually, I didn't think I signed up for this because he doesn't have the time you want him to have. He doesn't have the capacity you want him to have. He's not as emotionally developed as you'd like him to be. He's been achieving for so long. He may not be as easily able to be.
He might have a lot of ego you got to deal with.
A lot of ego. Yeah. There's a lot of things that come with it. Not to say that it can't work. But I am just excited and patiently awaiting my second wave. Like, you know,
it's coming.
Most of them, they got married, they had kids, they didn't, now they're going to be divorced. And when that rolls, and then they learned, and you know, my mom always says, don't spend 10 years training your man to give him to somebody else. There's a lot of women that are going to do that.
That's good.
Coming up. And
so this is why it's important to only entertain purposeful and profitable relationships.
Agreed.
Because there's nowhere that you sign up when you start dating that says, I'm going to submit for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then at year 10, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
Nowhere does it say that. You don't know if it's going to be 4, 14, or 40.
No.
So you have to position yourself, number 1, in proximity with the kind of men you want. Number 2, within his pocket by being his peace.
Yep.
And also being his priority.
Yeah.
You have to learn what makes you a priority in his life, what puts you on top of the totem pole, what puts you in front of the football game, what makes you more important than the game on the phone, what makes you more valuable and special than spades, what puts you on the top of the list, right? And when you know that, when you go through Provider Man Plan, you'll know. So don't you worry about that. But when you find that out, you become powerful.
Yes.
Because if the kind of man you want is, let's say, a doctor and he's on call and he's in the hospital all the time and he works 60 hours a week, sometimes more. He very rarely gets vacations because he's the head honcho super doctor, right? He works on everybody's everything. They need him in there all the time. Your goal and dream is to live your life as a traveling nomad. That ain't happening because your man can't go with you. Right. So it doesn't align with your vision. Yes. You have to know what you want before you just get the guy.
Yes.
Because he's a package.
Yes.
Regardless of whether it's kids or an ex-wife or alimony or just childhood trauma he's a package.
Yes.
Him, his business, his account, they're all in alignment.
Yes.
And you've got to know what you want.
Yes.
Or you simply just get whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I also feel like inside of dating, like I always say what I need out of a relationship. You're like, what's your type? I'm like, my type, safety, security, respect, emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, or emotional regulation, openness, and honesty. That's my type.
That was a lot. I mean, how do we even put all that together in just one person, especially a guy who has to handle so many other things to become a great guy or just a beneficial man? How do you apply all that into him being in a relationship as well? That's a lot.
Yeah. What does he look like? I don't know.
I hope y'all wrote that down. That was a good list.
That's my list. And it's funny because I'll have conversations with the men I'm dating. They're like, that's the whole shebang. I know. I want it all. Yeah. I do, and I believe that we can have it all.
You absolutely can.
But I only know now because I've had experiences to learn what I don't want, you know, and understanding that. So we actually got asked one of the questions. We were live on the show one day, and someone said, would you date a doctor? No.
I
couldn't.
Absolutely not.
And then I think about like, do I have to wash your clothes if there's blood in them? I'm vomiting. You know, like, and then there's,
and that's
you don't
the
have any
little
time.
details. Like, kudos to you for thinking of the little details.
I don't want that for my. I have a weak stomach. You know, I can't even talk to you about your day. I'm gonna be nauseous all day. And then I start thinking about the time, and I'm a quality time person. Yes. We literally have had that conversation, but people.
That's crazy because like a doctor is a very respectable profession, and to say that you just squeamish and you can't wash his clothes, he probably not bringing home blood-ridden clothes home anyway because that's a contamination problem. So he's probably not bringing that home. But for you to even be thinking about that, it's like, damn, where your head is really at. You talking about getting a top 5% guy? Like that's what you're thinking about?
People, all they think is like, oh, I have a doctor and he makes $250,000 to $600,000 a year, and it's like, okay, but like we have. That would be.
Let's say you have 3 kids by this doctor. Oh, you are raising those kids. You are a single mom
who's married. You are a single married woman.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, unless he has an insane work-life balance, which I'm sure there's a few doctors out there that do, that have a firm like stop on, you know,
but they
making sure they have the home work-life balance. And that's the catch, right? So it's like, if he's got the firm work-life balance, the odds are against him when it comes to how successful he's become because of that.
Yeah.
Right? Like that habit, that character trait is what got him to head honcho in the hospital.
Yes.
Exactly.
If you strip that from him and take that away, number one, it's going to have an adverse effect on the relationship.
For sure.
And number two, you will just be unhappy.
Yes. So how much
you're never going to be happy
do you think that a man should make in order to be able to create work-life balance and provide for his woman?
Y'all ready for
this?
So
in order for a man to comfortably date, he has to, number one, be swimming in the right pond of women with the right paycheck that matches. You see, you can have any woman that you want when you're successful or even remotely a little bit successful. Even the fakes and phonies out here are getting with some really gorgeous women. However, if you jump into a pool of women that have an expectation like you and I do, and you have to show up to a certain degree and a certain level, that's going to stress you out.
Hold on. I'm sorry for pausing, but she said expectation, but you said that match your paycheck. Expectation and reality are two different things. Ma'am, if you're not making over 100 plus, but you have the expectation to be given that type of resource, that's completely different. You're not in that bracket. See, men can date down. Men can date broke women and rich women. Y'all, on the other hand, y'all have a certain standard on the cap on what your guy need to make. Let's continue with what she's talking about.
You are going to be taking your gas money and putting it into your girl's nails. You are going to find yourself in a position that doesn't pay. And when I say pay, there's another P that's involved that isn't worth remotely as much as what you're going to invest and spend to get it. So instead of you worrying about, man, I make 50K, Coach Lee said I shouldn't date. I said you should sit down, take a year, put your extra money instead of into a woman, put it into future wealth. Go take a trade, go back to school, go educate yourself, go to a job corps, go figure out a way to start a side hustle or a business that can bring you extra money. And if you spend just 1 year doing that, by the next year, you'll go from having 50K to having 70K to having 140K.
Yeah.
If you just sat down for 2 years.
Yes.
All right. Everybody's not going to be rich. Let's go ahead and get that into our heads right there. What did her grandparents do? What did any of our grandparents do? They weren't making that much money, but they understood survival, building together, growing together. What she's advocating for, don't get me wrong, I'm all for guys building their bank accounts up, focusing on their bread. That's 100%. That's what you should be doing as a man before you go out there dating and spending money on chicks. That's 100% right. But at the same time, if two people get together, they're not making much money, or they start out early and they have a common goal to grow and build together, there is nothing wrong with that. But just to say that all women are going to be wanting the top tier guys or they deserve it, that's crazy. Because first of all, maybe on the woman's side, she needs to fix her skewed view on reality as to why I want so much. You know, being a overindulged consumer. Why are you into consumerism so much? That's a big problem, but she's not mentioning that. She's only saying that you need to have this so you keep spending. No, we need to be trying to survive and thrive.
So if we thought with our future self, right? The foundational being, instead of thinking about how lonely our spirit is right now.
Yes.
Go sit and pray, talk to God. Get it together. Get it together. Please don't think because I cuss a little, we are not firm in our faith.
Period.
However, men don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They want to show status, right? By having a beautiful woman. They also oftentimes, I mean, let's face it, a lot of these men that we're dating now have been raised by single moms. And so, maybe it's getting hot. It's getting hot.
Deep sigh.
Yeah. Have been raised by single moms.
Yeah.
So they are used to a woman supporting them to a certain degree.
Yes.
No matter what their career is, no matter what their job is.
Yes.
Most of them were
What?
raised by single women. So you have to consider like, okay, I'm a guy, I'm in my 30s, I'm ready to start dating. One of the first thoughts needs to be, can I afford the woman that I want? And if you're making $50,000, the kind of woman that you want or the kind of woman that you'll get may most likely not be in alignment with the woman that you want.
Ooh.
What?
And that's a hurt piece, but
No.
you got to pay to play.
She's wrong because she, I guess, is a high class woman. Bruh, she looked just like man, I done seen 30 teachers that look just like her that make damn 30, 40K, bro. Like, I don't understand what she's talking about. When you look at what someone makes, that does not categorize their beauty, their looks, or anything like that. Honestly, if she's making less, I probably can get her on my program easier than a chick who makes more but still look the same.
Got to pay to play.
You got to pay to play.
What do you think the number is? Like, what's a safe number to say, like,
Well,
okay.
I said 50K and the internet tore me to shambles, but I make 50K in less than a month.
Yeah.
So it's tough for me. And I'm a high school dropout, no education, no degree, 2 kids from 2 different men, never married in my life.
Pause.
I'm a world-renowned dating coach.
Okay, whoa, rewind.
2 kids from 2 different men, and this woman this woman lucked up. She got her a rich white dude. I did some research on her. She got her a rich white dude. She lucked up. She's a chunky woman. She's not one of these slim women. She got her a rich white dude who just loved thick women, and then she lucked up. That's how she in this position, bro. This woman is egregious to give this type of advice.
Rewind. 2 kids.
2 kids,
2 different men.
2 different men
In a relationship.
in a relationship now. Yep.
Engaged.
5.5 years.
5.5 years. Are
5.5
you married?
years together. Nope, not married.
Do you want to be married?
Eventually.
Does he want to be married?
Yes.
So you're the holdup.
No.
Y'all both the holdup?
No.
Break
The
it down.
holdup is a year. Has it been a year yet? I think it's been a year. A year ago, he closed down his business from making $70,000 a week to making $70,000 a year. So took a big hit, went through a major depression, but I happen to run a $1 million business.
Yeah.
So my business was built on the back of his bank account.
Wow.
Every investment, every computer, every flight, every outfit, down to my kids and their school clothes. He took care of everything for the first 4 years.
Yeah.
So as we turned over into year 5, I started to do what I said I was going to do when I met him, which was, I'm going to have you position me, not if, but I'm going to have you position me to make so much money that you never have to stress out about a single dollar ever again. And now that was me in my hero mode of like single mom, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that it happens and lives and you have no idea when the table may turn.
Yeah.
And
But you said that if you invest in me, he won't have to worry about anything. Why all of a sudden he has to worry now? Where is the cape at?
if you're with a partner that is not your true partner, your best friend, somebody who supports you, somebody who can rock with you when it's great and when it's not so golden. If you have that person, you can make it through these kind of hurdles.
Yes.
But if you don't have that person who's not a provider at heart, because there would be nothing worse than my man to decide tomorrow, I'm just going to stay home and do nothing. I'm not going to collect $70K because we don't need it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to whatever, and we don't need it. And it's like, no. You'll never have me as a wife until you fix the funds, until you fix the foundation of the finances.
Yeah.
Because you can't, at $70,000, can you honestly take 10 to 20K of that annually and put it on a ring? That's not the 50 to 100 that it costs for a wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm not expensing that.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not buying a $20,000 ring. I don't care how much money I get. I'm not doing it. Man. When me and my wife got married, her mom showed me one at the pawn shop, Got it was like $1,000. Got that ring, boom. I put it on a pawn shop layaway, matter of fact, paid it off, got the ring, boom, done deal. I'm not doing all that to see all this type of shit she talking about. This ain't realistic, bro. This is for like people who are overindulged in a consumerism. And it's dangerous. Like, it's okay to want nice things and appreciate nice things, but when you only thinking about top dollar, bro, you gonna send yourself down a horrible road.
I will be by your side until you can do it again.
Yes.
You got me. I got you, bestie.
You're right.
Bestie.
But what we won't do is go expense it ourselves.
Yeah.
I will rock with you. I will support you. I will lift you up. I will give you the motivation and the strength you need, because he's rebuilding from brokenness. Imagine losing everything. Multi-million-dollar company to having nothing.
Yeah.
In 30 days.
Right.
And look what he get.
And
look what he get.
In that time frame, I said, you know what? I'm either going to be all in or I'm going to bail right now.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I looked around and I said, I have a beautiful home.
Yeah.
I have an amazing family.
Yeah.
My kids are being raised with a really good example of what a man should be, right? I don't tie a single shoe. I don't open a single door. I don't have to cook. I don't clean. Maybe that's why I don't got a ring. But
why are you here?
But the thing is, that's not his love language. He doesn't care about those things.
Yeah.
He'll cook. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Even when he was making, 70,000, 100,000 a week, he didn't care.
Yeah.
So the things that he looks for from me are delivered in a way that, like, my consistency with my business, my integrity when it comes to me saying, now I'm not going to hold you. Integrity is a big one. Time is eating me up. That's why I was so impressed with you being on time here today. Time is eating me up.
Yes.
But it will be my best friend soon.
Yes.
So I'm not perfect, but when I say I'm going to have his back, I do. When I say I'm going to be there for him in specific ways, I am. When I say I'm going to help him, when I say I'm going to emotionally recenter him, when I do all of the things that I say I'm going to do.
That's probably one of the best things that she has said this whole time. That's the only good thing, that she saw him as a good guy and she wants to stay there. But I will say this. 70K a week. Someone making 70K a week. This is what you get. This is what you get for 70K a week. I better have everything for 70K a week. I'm going to just be honest. And I'm not going to have somebody that's putting time stipulations on me on when I need to bounce back. If I already created a life for you, we thriving, we striving. You shouldn't even be coming at me with that type of stuff. You being in my ear like that, like a little gnat, that little buzz, that's very annoying for most men. Most men don't want to hear that. Most men want to have someone that's willing to rock out with them. You chose me. I'm going to get us back. But if you start putting these time clocks, hey, I'm leaving you if you're not building back. Why are you here? Like, I don't need that in my life. All right, we're gonna end it right there, because I'm gonna be honest, this woman really don't understand how men operate. Even when you can find out how to be at the top of the topo, that man is gonna have things that he want to do away from you, because you're going to be annoying after a while. Be honest, even if we love you, I love my wife, but I'm not around her all the time, and I want to do things on my own. It is what it is. I'm not going to spend all my time with my wife. I don't care how much she move herself with the totem pole to be as valuable as possible. Men are going to need their space. They can't. It doesn't work. So for her to say that she doesn't understand the biology and nature of how a man operates, and she's giving a lot of fluff advice. Some things she said I agree with. I'm not going to sit here and say everything was wrong by the man building himself up the whole nine. But like I said, when you have this consumerism mindset, it's going to be dangerous at the same time, because you're going to have all these women fighting for the same man, which is not going to be possible to get them all, unless now you got a lot of side chicks out there. And then you're going to have a lot of average and regular people to keep society running. So, hey, if you want a rich guy, deal with the rich guy problems. But guess what? You have those women, they still don't know how to keep the rich guy. So who's really getting the good advice and who's really executing it? Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Y'all go watch the It's Giving podcast. Y'all watch this in its entirety. I reacted to her Shaq video. I like her point sometimes too. She still got to work out her kinks as well. But y'all make sure y'all support them. Subscribe to their channel. Make sure y'all like this video. Comment below. Subscribe to my channel. Tune in for the Saturday Night Live, which is going to be depending on when this video is coming out, whether it be tomorrow or tonight. Make sure y'all stay tuned in on that. And until next time, y'all, peace.